Hi and welcome. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that as a result of watching this presentation, you'll know if my skills, experience and character are a good fit for your business. I currently have 8 roles and these are pretty much the same as I've had for the last 9 or 10 years in different businesses. So let's start with my marketing team. I run a team of marketing people and customer service staff. We have traditional goals, targets and KPIs that we review weekly or monthly. For the goals, we have current month, 12-month and 5-year goals. Our KPIs are updated weekly by the person responsible for them. And sales targets are on a monthly review. What isn't so traditional is how I'm asking people to define their roles. Who are they being when they do something and what kind of person are they trying to be? From there, I'm defining success routines in Asana, capturing the daily, weekly, monthly or periodic tasks. So some key takeaways. If leadership is about tone, pace and direction, then I like a fun, personable workplace executing smart projects at a natural pace in a high performance team. I'm more than capable of setting goals, targets and KPIs, but the question is normally, what are those of the business that senior leadership is passionate about? And letting people define their own values and signing off on those that they're acceptable is different, and it's very different to how corporations work. Let's talk about the e-commerce program, and there's 2 major parts for me, and that's promotions and development projects. Now this looks a bit confusing, but it's simply a plan, do, check, act cycle. We have a calendar down the left side of dates and seasonal goals, and you can see there's the current goal is full price winter. And then we have we write briefs for various promotions like the Easter sale here, and you can see on the right side is a little checklist of things that we might do to execute that particular promotion. And then all the numbers are really looking at the performance of that campaign as we go. What was the lift in average order value, what was the lift in sales compared to the prior period, and conversion rates and those sorts of things. So just trying to understand, was this a good sale, was it the right offer at the right time, and then we can go back and update our briefs and apply those learnings for next year or the upcoming promotions. When we're not on sale, the development projects are just as important. So in monthly team meetings, we review ideas against their sales drivers and ICE profile. And the drivers are really about creating prospects, turning prospects into customers and maximizing revenue from those customers and getting repeat purchases. So ICE stands for the impact they'll have on the business, the confidence that we have in that project to deliver the results, and how easy is it to deliver those results. And then we can sort them and go after the biggest wins to make sure that we're working effectively. So key takeaways, e-commerce can't just be about going on sale all the time and training people to buy on price. We need to consider traffic, opt-in, conversion, the quantity purchase, the unit price, the purchase frequency, and the unit margin. And that's how we grow profits, not just revenue. And having a plan, do, check, act cycle is a much nicer environment to work on than whatever's the next shiny object or whatever knee-jerk sale that might be coming up. So talk about email marketing. And there's really 2 parts here, campaigns and automations. You can see the marketing calendar that I've set up here. On Mondays is full price. This is where we advertise new products. On Wednesdays is for the sale-orientated customer, people that like to buy from the sale collections. And then on the weekend, we send out a value add email, which is not to do with selling shoes at all. It's about, empowering women, feeling good for themselves and just giving them some inspiration. We've also got a push notification going out every Friday. And down the bottom you can see there's a sale, Click Frenzy sale that has been planned. In terms of our emails, we use Klaviyo, and you can see here this is a weekend one, and there's a bit of inspiration from Met Gala, what's going on in the in the current environment. And the flat lay outfit of the week inspiration really comes from Bird's Nest. In the middle of our emails, we always have a rewards block, and we switch out that block depending on whether someone's a candidate or a member, and we can show their points balance if they're a member. And down the back end is a recommended for you product block. In terms of email automations, have a full set of automations running. More and more, we're adding in SMS to these. So the abandoned cart has SMS, but also some of the interesting ones here are Gatsby outreach, where we automate our outreach to influencers depending on what size of followers they have, and they get a different message or reward for a mention depending on how many followers they've got. Key takeaways here: email's critical to the business, should be around about 20% of revenue. Every email has to deliver value or it shouldn't be sent. Really don't want those people to unsubscribe, and we want them to keep opening. And new channels like SMS and push are fast becoming more important post iOS 14.5. Talk about being a contracts manager or contractor manager. The three that we have really are Convert Digital, and then we've got a suite of Shopify apps that we need to manage. So one of the biggest projects that I delivered at Famous Footwear was re-platforming from an old Umbraco site across to a new Shopify Plus site. I ran a tender and did both financial and non-financial evaluations. And in hindsight, Convert Digital underquoted on this, and it prevents them really partnering with us because everything they try and do, they either have to reduce costs or we have to pay more for them to win. That's an unusual situation to be. We just run a minimal maintenance budget with conversion rate testing over and above that on separate invoices. So 16 hours a month is base plus conversion rate optimization. And the tech stack's pretty simple. There's a couple of different things like Analyst. That's great. We've got Smile Rewards, and we can talk to some successes there. We've got the repeat purchase percentage of customers up from 5%. It's currently around 16, and on some days 18%. There's also Gatsby and Ocular. Push Out's been really good for us as well. So key takeaways: seek partners who don't have to make you lose for them to win. And every new piece of functionality needs to be seen as an investment with a return. Google Search Console Core Web Vitals report can't be ignored, and you've really got to make great experiences for customers. So let's just talk about the role of being an ad specialist, and the three that I tend to work in are Google Ads, Meta Ads, and TikTok Ads. In the past, I've done Snapchat ads and Pinterest ads, but I'll just talk to these ones. So firstly, inside Google Merchant Center, Google shopping campaigns are really, really important for us, and there's a particular format that we use for one, the custom labels, turning ads on off and optimizing those campaigns based on the product criteria, and then also optimizing the product itself or the product title so that I can show for particular keywords. In this case, I've got the name of the shoe by the brand, and it's a black slide sandal, which is the keyword I'm targeting, and it's a Famous Footwear size 9. We're getting some great returns. We're getting around 5.5 out of our shopping campaigns, and we also have a branded campaign which is nearly 90, and then we have a number of different traditional search campaigns. I'm currently testing a Performance Max campaign in New South Wales because we don't have very many stores in New South Wales, and it's got a great ROAS, but it's not got much scale at the moment. So it's an interesting thing to watch. Now, the top of our social ad funnel is similar to others in that it contains people that don't know us at all, haven't even liked a post. So what is different to just using lookalike audiences based on lifetime value? We build avatars out around their favourite place to shop. So a Whitner or Novo shoes buying customer might be different to those who shop at Target, Kmart or Shine or Daishuba. So on the checkout thank you page or the order confirmation page, I asked questions in a survey. I was asking them how likely are they to recommend us to friends or family, was there any problems in using the site today, and who is their favourite place to buy fashion from, and we get answers from that. And we can see the results out of Hotjar. And what I'm doing is using these responses to then create ad sets inside of our funnel, targeting these types of people. And you can see that the Kmart H&M Daishuba buyer is performing quite nicely at 3.8 ROAS there. So it's quite a different way to create avatars and use that information to get good people into your funnel. A couple other things about our social ads. So for me, the collection format always outperforms either carousels, straight images, or video ads, and I really like creating that shopping on social experience where you can tap the more button and then you can start shopping through a collection there. So that's always been really good. And the other thing is with iOS 14.5, we're losing a lot of cookies are expiring for us, and so server-side tracking is really important. Moving on to TikTok ads, suffice to say that we will be advertising on TikTok, but our strategy is to use user-generated content from influencers rather than create that content ourselves. So, and then we'll be creating dedicated collections with the URL that includes the influencer's name, and then we'll be landing people on that page, so specific collections for each influencer. So key takeaways here: product titles and custom categories are critical for Google Ads success. Meta ads is a giant funnel, and success depends on the overall ROAS, or cost of acquisition, and start with knowing your customers really well. TikTok can't be ignored, but UGC is a safer option for our brand at the moment because it is different content. In around SEO, 3 parts here: technical SEO, e-commerce SEO, and content SEO. So there's a lot to be grateful for with our new website. Our site health has gone from around about 67% up to 86%, but still have a fair amount of work to do, particularly with core web vitals. Our biggest issue on site is longest contentful paint, and there's still plenty of puff left in that dragon, so it's an ongoing piece of work for us. In terms of e-commerce SEO, working down and through the long tail keywords, you can see here we probably have about under our main menu, we'd have 5 different subcategories of boots, but we've actually got over 30 different pages that are all different types of boots in the long tail. They're just not shown on the menu, and we work through those to optimize the hero banner, text, FAQs. We're using Yoast as well as a lot of FAQs. Next up, with your traditional SEO, results today have been great, and we punch well above our weight division. Novo, you can see, is top 2 here, one of the around about 4 times our size, but we outrate them on non-branded SEO terms. We've got this long-running duel that I'm in, always trying to beat a Novo. So we do produce traditional blog content, and that comes from our weekend or value-added emails, and we actually create the emails first, and then we go and create the blog post, which is kind of reverse to normal businesses, but that's just us. So key takeaways here: speed is king for both conversions and Google ranking. For e-commerce sites, pay close attention to our collection pages content and include videos and FAQs with schema.org markup. If you're in the business of shooting photo content, then optimize and syndicate photo content. Sounds really simple, but there's a lot of SEO there as well. In around conversion rate optimization, I'll just explain this by use of, say, Hotjar, which most people would be familiar with. I'm looking at heat maps of clicks and taps. I'm looking at how far people scroll, and then I'm watching videos as to how people use different parts of the site. And from there, I can come up with hypotheses that need to be tested in this particular instance. We have the current collection process is they can tap add to bag and a pop-up. They can then choose their size and then add to cart rather than looking at the product details first. So I have a split test running at the moment to determine which pathway leads to higher conversions. So I'll have an answer on that in 2 weeks for us. But there's lots of other places to split test, and inside Klaviyo I'm always testing. I have a bit of a process here. I like to test timing first, then go to open rate, then go down to click-through rate, and finally the content for order value. But also inside of ads, and I'm often split testing either things like the URLs people are seeing inside the ads, or a different hook, trying to get people to convert. You can see an example here. This one's customer favorites versus bestsellers. They're the social proof hook is working there. So key takeaways here: Hotjars are great to know and watch customers do what they do and don't, but it's only for the options they're presented with. As the site's built, there's improvements that you can't see because they're just not deployed. A new site is jam-packed with lots of best practice assumptions and owner opinions. They're all great for testing, and site-based testing isn't the only place to test. So if you think about having 2 ads, 2 landing pages, 2 emails, 2 sales pages, and 2 checkouts, you can get an optimized funnel. Lastly, as Analyst, you can, I won't bore you with custom channel definitions and making sure that we've got the source medium UTM tags in place and looking at, what campaigns convert. I do like the new Google GA4 charts and where that's going. It's interesting with the product chart. I really need to understand the old Boston Consulting Group, the stars, the cash cows, the dogs, to understand which products are worth promoting or to stop promoting. And I can create Google Data Studio reports as required, but I don't think that they're so important if you feel your numbers and you know what they are and you can explain them. So, here's a really good reason why I'm talking to you now because of COVID-19. Our business, bricks and mortar business, is in decline. The website's going great, but the money has been taken away from the online business to, pay the rent and the staff in the underperforming stores. As a result, we've had no new boots, no boot styles at all this season, and customers are voting with their dollars. So we've gone from 50 stores, we're now talking about going down to 20, and cash is very tight. So I doubled the business in over 2 years. It took me about 2 years to double the online business, and sadly it's now stalled. So key takeaways: you can be doing everything right, but if you don't have the right products to sell, it's a waste of effort. And you don't need high-level dashboards and complex reports. The basics are starve the donkeys to feed the stallions, get the right products to the right people at the right time for the right price, and that's really easy to say, but very hard to do. So if you've got any questions, then let's talk. Thanks for watching this presentation. Please read my LinkedIn recommendations at linkedin.com/in/Anthony Idle. Thanks for that. Bye.